Topping today's news, Prime Minister Ariel Henry resigns amid growing unrest and violence in Haiti. The United States donates millions towards humanitarian efforts in Haiti while expressing support for the multinational peacekeeping force led by Kenya, and the official opposition continues to pressure the government for more details on that new BPL deal. Good evening, Bahamas. I'm Jarino Saunders. This is your JCN Evening News, and it is a pleasure to have you join us. Reports say Port-au-Prince was relatively calm on Monday night. This after CARICOM leaders met in Jamaica on Monday and advised Haitian Prime Minister Ariel Henry, who agreed to resign in order to map out the best process to advance the political transition. In a statement on Monday, Prime Minister Henry says his administration will remove itself immediately once a transitional council is established. Here he is speaking in Creole to the Haitian people, explaining the new leaders will be picked comprising individuals from different sectors of the Haitian society.
Gouvernement ap dirije après Conseil des ministres assoya accepté pour le mettre en place un conseil présidentiel de transition. Membre conseil sa yo pral choisi après une entente entre différents secteurs de la vie nationale. Gouvernement que m'a dirigé a retiré col immédiatement après installation conseil ça.
Prime Minister Henry remains in Puerto Rico, where U.S. officials have reportedly said he can stay as long as he wants to stay there. Meanwhile, Prime Minister Philip Davis was expected to return to the capital today after attending that key meeting in Jamaica. CARICOM will now focus on establishing a transitional presidential council that can bring stability to Haiti. On Monday, while attending the emergency meeting among CARICOM leaders in Jamaica to further discuss the unrest and violent chaos in Haiti, Secretary of State Anthony Blinken commended CARICOM leaders for their commitment to help Haiti find a solution to its political, economic, and social challenges made worse by gang violence and murders, forcing many to flee their homes in search of safety. Mr. Blinken said the situation in Haiti is unacceptable. The United States pledged its support and is urging for the quickest possible deployment of the proposed Kenyan-led multinational peacekeeping force to Haiti in order to bring stability.
This has created an untenable situation for the Haitian people. And we all know that urgent action is needed on both the political and security tracks to help move things in a better direction, to help do right by the people of Haiti. We're here in Kingston today to listen to your ideas, but also to provide our concrete support for the way forward. And in particular, the joint proposal that was developed by CARICOM and all of the Haitian stakeholders to expedite a political transition. We support the plan to create a broad-based, inclusive, independent presidential college that would, in particular, first take concrete steps to meet the immediate needs of the Haitian people. Second, enable the swift deployment of the multinational security support mission. And third, through that deployment, through a reinforced Haitian National Police, create the security conditions that are necessary to hold free and fair elections, to allow humanitarian assistance to get to people who need it, and to help put Haiti back on a path to economic opportunity and growth.
With the increased levels of violence and gangs terrorizing citizens, many of the island's citizens are struggling to access food, water, and health care, among other essentials. Mr. Blinken revealed that the United States, through U.S. aid, is providing millions of dollars in additional humanitarian assistance for the Haitian people.
Increasingly urgent need. I'm announcing today that the United States Department of Defense is doubling its approved support for the mission from $100 million to $200 million. And that brings the total U.S. support to $300 million for this effort. I'm also announcing additional humanitarian assistance for the people of Haiti, $33 million to further support their health and food security. Now, all of us know that only the Haitian people can, only the Haitian people should determine their own future, not anyone else. But all of us here, CARICOM, the United States, our other partners, we can help. We can help restore a foundation of security that can address the tremendous suffering that innocent Haitians are experiencing and help create the conditions that will enable them to have that opportunity.
The United States leads the way on humanitarian assistance to Haiti with nearly $146 million in emergency assistance, reaching more than 1.5 million people this fiscal year alone. U.S. officials say they will continue to stand with Haiti during this challenging time. Leader of the official opposition, Michael Pintard, has formally requested answers about the government's proposed deal with Bahamas Power and Light that will outsource some of the power company's operations to private firms. Despite Prime Minister Philip Davis maintaining that it is not a secret deal and that details will be revealed once negotiations are completed, the opposition insists Bahamians should know what is entailed in the details before the contracts are signed. During the wrap-up on the mid-year budget debate in the House of Assembly, Mr. Pintard tabled 11 questions for the minister responsible for BPL, Jobeth Kobe Davis, to answer.
Will the Honorable Minister Colby Davis advise this Honorable House to what extent the government has consulted any of the agencies or members of the public with respect to the future vision and direction of BPL in advance of engaging private firms in discussions about the contracts and/or sale for generation, transmission, and distribution of electricity. Will the Honorable Minister Colby Davis advise this Honorable House if the government intends to issue a request for proposal for the awarding of generation, transmission, and distribution contracts or sale consistent with the Procurement Act? Will the Honorable Minister Colby Davis advise this Honorable House of the arrangements between the transmission and distribution company and the company that will be responsible for generation? What is the government's role in this arrangement?
Mr. Pintard then tabled questions regarding BPL's revenue generation.
Will the Honorable Prime Minister advise this Honorable House with a detailed explanation of the $110 million loan provided to BPL, including the terms of the loan, interest charged, and its contribution to the fuel surcharge experienced by BPL customers? Secondly, will the Honorable Prime Minister acknowledge that the loan provided to BPL must be accounted for within the approved budgetary appropriations authorized by Parliament? And how does the government plan to rectify this situation and ensure proper accounting for the loan? Will the Honorable Minister Colby Davis advise the Honorable House on who will ultimately own the assets in this reconfigured group of companies? Will the Honorable Minister Colby Davis advise if an evaluation has been done on the value of BPL assets and the potential for revenue generation to determine what fair value, market value, ought to be placed on the assets and their potential to generate revenue?
Mr. Pintard is also questioning who will be responsible for workers' salaries and benefits. He wanted to know how the power company and Bahamians will benefit from cruise ships using local energy while in Bahamian ports, a potential revenue stream of up to $5 million, according to Mr. Pintard. Continuing to discuss the government's policy on taxes, Prime Minister Philip Davis, during his contribution to the mid-year budget debate in the House of Assembly, said his administration has made a very important decision when it comes to new taxes versus those taxes already on the books. He pulled no punches when addressing those who are considered to be wealthy here in the Bahamas.
We have made an important decision to draw a line in the sand when it comes to the collection of taxes from those who have avoided their responsibilities for years, despite being among the wealthiest people and businesses in our nation. I know there are some who are angered by our approach. Some are angered by our approach. They're thinking, how dare we go after the elite? Some people have been evading their business license fees, their customs duties, and the real property taxes for so long. It now feels like they are being targeted when we ask them to finally pay what they owe. As the quote goes, when you are accustomed to privilege, when you are accustomed to privilege, equality feels like oppression.
Prime Minister Davis said his goal is to build a new Bahamas that is more fair for all citizens and residents alike. And finally, in this segment, as Bahamians await the 1.5% NIB rate increase that takes effect July 1st, many remain concerned for what the rate hike means for businesses and workers. Speaking on the necessity of the rate increase, former CEO of the Bahamas Chamber of Commerce and chairman of the Board of Directors for NIB, Edison Sumner, shares his insight on the challenges at NIB and the corresponding need for a change in rates.
We cannot get away from the fact that there needs to be an adjustment in NIB rates. But I think going beyond even the adjustment of the 1.5% over several years, there has to also be a comprehensive review of the level of operations at NIB, right? The efficiency of the operations there. It's my view that if we're able to correct and improve on some of the operational efficiencies, then we might find that there might not be a need to adjust the rate as high and for the extended period that is being suggested. There were suggestions being made probably 20 years ago that we should have been adjusting the rates at NIB. Every successive government has kicked that can down the road, and I think it's at a point now where we can't kick the can any further.
While many are anticipating the negative effects from an increase in rates at NIB, including possible spikes in layoffs from different businesses, Mr. Sumner says there is a potential benefit from the proposed rate hike.
So employers are going to see this as being hitting their bottom line directly. Any employer or business is going to want to find ways to offset that additional cost to them. There is going to be hopefully a benefit to this, and the benefit is that the fund will last longer than what was projected by the actuaries, because according to them, if we don't do anything, the fund is going to become insolvent in a few years' time. So hopefully with this increase, it's going to be a cost to doing business, but hopefully the benefit will be that we will see a prolonged life of the social infrastructure fund, and also greater benefit to those who qualify to access those benefits from NIB.
In his capacity as principal of Sumner Strategic Solutions, Mr. Sumner is advising NIB to pursue recovering owed funds from the government, who he calls one of NIB's largest debtors. We'll take a break here. We'll be right back after these commercials.